Through a lot of trial and error, I discovered 4 things that helped me go from miserable, working in a good but not great 9-to-5, to making millions doing what I love. I'm sharing them with you in this video, so hopefully you can get there faster than I did. But this first thing might surprise you, because you might not even be aware of it. For me, growing up in an immigrant, middle-class family, I was constantly surrounded by this type of thinking. Money is hard to make. My parents' actions backed that up too. I watched my dad be massively underpaid his entire career, but he never once asked for a raise because he believed that you need to just accept and be grateful for whatever you are given. When I talked about this in a previous video, a comment showed me I was not alone. When I was 7, my dad said I would never make $12,000 a year. This would really put me in a box for most of my life, even though I would make much more than that. The box was that I was not worth what I was making. Unfortunately, this is so common. This story we've been taught where we are not worth being rich. But the good news is, our stories can be changed through changing our mentality. But first, you have to be able to identify the specific beliefs you've held on to about money since you were probably a child. One of the resources that helped me do this was Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch. It breaks down the most common money stories to help you identify yours and shows you just how deeply they might be keeping you stuck. Because the truth is, money isn't a conscious thing capable of judging whether you're worthy of it or not. I love the way billionaire Sarah Blakely breaks it down. Money makes you more of who you already are. Ultimately, you get to decide what money is to you, and that feels so incredibly powerful. But most of the time, you can't just affirm yourself into feeling that way. I know because I tried, unsuccessfully, for many years to feel worthy of making even $60,000 a year. So when I finally found a way that worked to feel good about making more money, I knew I needed to share it. It's also the story behind how I created my flagship product, Employee to Entrepreneur, because I took a different route than what you might be used to hearing in our everything needs to be fast society. I spent over 4 years reworking it, hiring people to help me improve it, and working with hundreds of clients through it. But the point isn't how long you have to spend fine-tuning what you sell. It could absolutely be a lot faster for you. It's how you feel about what you're selling. For me, because of all the work I put in, I was able to believe in my product so much, I was able to say with 100% honesty to my clients, I believe this is the best option to help you. Because when you do, you are not only going to feel good about making more money, but you're also going to actually make a lot more of it. Because people will be able to feel your confidence and integrity. High five to that. But there's another aspect to this that kept me stuck for years, and it might be keeping you stuck too. Thinking, I need to make this much money so I can prove I can do it. The huge problem with this is that it has no real impact on your actual business. Because I'm sorry to say it, but no one is going to pay you so you can feel good about yourself. Instead, borrow the strategy that got Michael Dubin to $1 billion. He made a very silly video of himself talking about why you should get Dollar Shave Club.
Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you.
It's funny, which absolutely helps. But more importantly, it spoke to a very serious problem for other people. It's hard buying a new razor at the store. And that's how his video went viral, driving over 12,000 orders within 48 hours for his new business. If only we could all get those kinds of results, right? But you can follow his lead with my favorite saying from Zig Ziglar. You can get everything you want in life if you just help others get what they want. But it also goes further than that. And that's how my sales, relative to my audience size, are significantly above the industry norm. Because in addition to solving people's problems, you also need to do it in a way that makes it interesting for them to be sold to. Like a person in a bear costume, or an email that's fun to read. But as you start building momentum, there is a trap you gotta watch out for. Because you can get in your head about racing to the finish line of being a millionaire. For me, it happened partly because of my typical Asian upbringing. If you were raised like me, you were taught that results equals self-worth. But that led to some pretty stupid mistakes because I was so scared that if I didn't hit my goal, I wouldn't be worthy. Oof. Like when I once hired this mentor for over 6 figures, because I was so afraid that if I didn't hire him, I was not going to be able to do it on my own. But after spending a lot of time and money with that mentor, that's when I realized this isn't even what I want. Looking back, I don't regret that decision because I did learn a lot from it. But I am also sad because I could have spent that time and money on better options. If only I had heeded the advice of one of the wealthiest men in the world. The story goes that supposedly when Jeff Bezos asked him why more people didn't simply follow his investment strategy to get rich, Warren Buffett said, because everybody wants to get rich fast. No one wants to get rich slow. The truth is, for me, it wasn't until about 4 years after I'd made my first million that I became a millionaire. Because you've got a team to support, bills to pay, and honestly, you're also learning a lot about managing money. But I also don't want you to think you can't start getting results quickly. You absolutely can. It's simply that some critical pieces need a bit more time, like growing your reputation, building trust, and improving your skills. But the cool thing is, once you take out the fear of needing to get it done fast, that's when you grow faster. Because then you're naturally focusing on the things that are gonna create more value anyways, which in the long run is the ultimate measure of how much you'll make. But there are also a lot of personal changes I had to make to be able to go from flash in the pan to millionaire. That's why in this next video, I'm sharing the 5 big transformations I had to go through to make my first few million, so you can see how to reach your money goals as simply as possible.